We are thrilled to have you join us as we explore the dynamic landscape of alternative investments and embrace sustainability in the business and life. Before we delve into the theme of today's event, let's honor a cherished Indian tradition, the lamp lighting ceremony. I would like to invite Ms. Fatima Honed, Anand Shah, Head PMS and AIF Investments at ICICI Prudential, Ms. Pallavi Joshi Bakru, Mr. Mahinder Patwari, President CEO Clubs India, Bangalore Chapter, Sachin Tagra. Sachin is the Managing Partner in JSW Ventures, and Ms. Madhushri Datta, CEO and Founder of Brand Talk, to join us on stage for this special moment.
गणनायकाय गणदैवताय गणाध्यक्षाय धीमहि गुणशरीराय गुणमण्डिताय गुणेशानाय धीमहि गुणातीताय गुणाधीशाय गुणप्रविष्टाय धीमहि एकदन्ताय वक्रतुण्डाय गौरीतनयाय धीमहि गजेशानाय भालचन्द्राय श्रीगणेशाय धीमहि एकदन्ताय।
Thank you, Sachin. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for this incredible introduction. A warm welcome to all of you. We are grateful you took some time out today from your busy schedule to understand how this forum would bring relevant stakeholders together with similar visions and objectives in business and money. As an experienced banker, having managed several large relationships and transactions, my personal dream has been to build unbiased opportunities, aligning with the needs of clients and helping them to do better with their money. Brand Talk was hence created to fulfill this dream by creating constant opportunities that are relevant in a particular market and time. We aspire to be a leading catalyst in supporting our clients to fulfill both their short-term and their long-term objectives. Today, we are a 6-year-old firm, as Sachin said, with 4 running properties to our credit, working with multiple sectors, being a sector-agnostic firm, and clients at Pan-India and also internationally.
Thank you very much for that. Always gives us goosebumps to realize the kind of impact together we are able to have in our ecosystems. Good morning, everyone. It's a great privilege for me to be able to speak and represent for Grant Thornton Bharat. Shaping a vibrant Bharat is at the core of what we want to do, and sustainability is also within that a very important core aspect. 2 areas that are becoming increasingly interconnected and indispensable to our future: alternative investments and sustainable living. Today, we find ourselves in a state where financial strategy and environmental responsibility are not just complementary but inseparable. For many years, the traditional avenues of investment have served us well. Stocks, bonds, and conventional assets form the backbone of wealth creation. But in recent years, alternative investments, particularly with family offices and real estate, have gained prominence. These investments not only diversify portfolios, but also align with the growing global imperative, sustainability. Family offices are uniquely positioned to lead this shift. With long-term investment horizons and a multi-generational focus, they have the ability to drive change, not just for the benefit of the family, but for the society as a whole.
Join me in extending a warm welcome to Anand Shah, Head of PMS and AIF Investments at ICICI Prudential Asset Management Company. Big round of applause for him.
We believe it is companies that create wealth and not markets. We have a 5-step process which identifies not only good companies, but at each layer there's also elimination of the bad. The first step process is obviously identifying the universe, but that's a first filter that we apply on all the existing listed companies and identify those 2,000 to 2,500 companies. The second process is where we minimize the opening universe from 2,000 to 2,500 companies down to 450 500 companies. We use business management valuation in that order to then further evaluate those 450 to 500 companies. Post that, at the 4th level, then depending on the strategy, we identify which are those 40, 45, 50 odd names 50 odd companies which are worth paying to be invested in that portfolio. You all know us. We are leading mutual fund, and for the large part of investments for households, and for that matter even the institutional investors, we cater to them. We are almost 9 lakh crores strong on that piece. So we always existed there, and you all know us, but over the last few years we have been investing to build our other capabilities, and now doing investment, but not only doing investments, doing research, doing risk and compliance, and obviously client servicing and support.
I guess this session is about family offices and how they look at their investments. Report by PwC, which has said that in 2018 there were 45 family offices in India, and in 2024 there are shade over 300 family offices with a minimum of $100 million under management. And I think this is still an understated number, because family office is a concept that, you know, Indian business families have embraced with such aplomb that it's absolutely outstanding.
One set of family office is growth oriented, which is more for wealth creation purpose, typically set up by the first gen entrepreneur when they have taken an exit or partially or fully, and if they want to diversify their investments into synergistic opportunities or for liquidity management, or looking for more wealth creation opportunities, or the second generation or the next generation of the family want to create a particular pool which is different from their operating businesses, but want to have a family office kind of a setup for wealth management, purely for wealth creation from various other opportunities. So that is one set of the family office. The second set is more wealth management orientation towards preservation and or conservation. So here typically it is multi-generational wealth is the perspective. They would want to have a more risk-adjusted kind of a growth, and they look at opportunities from the asset allocation and the risk profile. So this, I would like to say that, you know, two different types of family office by nature, by the profile.
I think the family office, I was running Coca-Cola and then Peppermint Britannia, and then took Future Capital Public, which was known as IDSC, my first bank now, which by 3 runs. But fundamentally, my introduction to Hiranandani was first to reorganize the group, then create and restart the real estate and reorganize the whole business, hire heads. And that's how I started off, and then I took off the entire commercial real estate piece and then monetized that, and that's what created the family office, incidentally.
We started this fund in 2016. This is when the next generation was coming in the business. We said we have an interest in the businesses which you mentioned, which are more infrastructure. But now there is so much happening in India in terms of startup. We want to be a part of that journey. So the model could have been the invest in other funds and, you know, observe it from outside. Or the other option was to, you know, work closely with those founders, help first identify those startups and then invest in them and be part of their growth journey. And again, the options were do it through a family office structure or create a fund. So we thought, okay, let's create a fund which is completely sponsored by the family office of the JSW group to start with, but have a long-term thinking where you can institutionalize this. That means you can bring in other family offices to this forum, yes, and then also have other institutions and CXOs participating in it. So I think the journey is exactly panning out what we envisaged 7-8 years ago. First fund was a small fund, completely capital of the JSW Group family office, which delivered reasonable returns, you know, top decile returns of 25% net IRR, return 3x of the capital of what we invested in, which is, you know, reasonably good in this space. And then we got into the fund 2 journey, where 1/3 capital came in from the family office and 2/3 we raised externally. And the other family offices investing in us, they got a huge comfort that there is a you know, corporate governance being checked at the family. You know, the managers are hired personally by the family themselves. So there was a lot of comfort in that zone. And now The other thing which we said, there was a lot of momentum investing going on in the startup space. We said, we being coming from the large group, we will always focus on capital efficient businesses and fundamental businesses rather than just spray and pray.
Not worth it, right? How do you get a Nobel, not Nobel equivalent or patents or whatever from India, right? For that, people have to stay here, right? Have to be inspired to be here, not go to an MIT or, right? So how do you do that, right? You have to create world-class institutions here. So we set up 4 chairs in IIT Madras and IISc. Then we said, how do we partner with government but create a little more private institution so you can pay the best of the talent, the things which they would anyway get in an NTU or MIT, to get the professors here, etc. So, and two core things we wanted to do was solve a problem which has not been solved. Like today we know we have an aging population, we have Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, etc. So on the brain side of things, we set up this Center for Brain Research, a 225 crore grant for the last 5 years, another 450 crore grant for the next 10 years. We hope to find a solution, right? In IIT Madras, we have done the first cutting-edge research. It's also been funded by the Principal Scientific Advisor to the PM. So we have done the mapping of the human brain. First time ever in the world.
We are a global organization present in many different countries, across different sectors. But what drives us? So this is an advertisement. This was the Mahindra Group's very first advertisement in 1945, right? Almost 80 years back. And when we look back at this advertisement, what we realize is that there are certain core values which we stand for, right? Which is ethics, dignity of the individual, there is meritocracy, there's diversity. All of these aspects reflected in some form or the other in the ad back in 1945. And they still stand true today. So every business that we operate in, we make sure that these are our guiding principles and this is our bedrock, right?
I think the investment community really needs to look at the film industry with that lens, that it has come of age today. We are the 5th largest media and entertainment market globally already, and scale to grow quite significantly in the future as well. It will get to 100 billion by the year 2030, which is not too far away. We're the fastest growing movie market in the world. We're growing at approximately 14%. One of the fastest growing streaming markets in the world, growing at around 21%. The lowest data costs in the world, the highest video consumption in the world because of those low data costs.
Zoomcar was founded 12 years ago as a rental car company. So we owned thousands of vehicles on our balance sheet, and we managed microsites here and there. In Bangalore alone, we had 40 microsites, and each site there is an operation manager, and then each operation managers are competing with each other in terms of quality and customer repeat rate. So it's like a small Maharajas in the operational side, very much operation-driven company. But on the demand side, the booking experience is completely online. So in that sense, half of the business we have today had been always on the online technology side. But what happened right after the COVID is we sold all the vehicles. And then we completely migrated from asset-heavy rental car business to asset-light car-sharing platform. So today we don't own any vehicle on our balance sheet. So everything, all the transactions happening on Zoomcar is someone's car. The vehicles hosted by our hosts, micro-entrepreneurs.
We foster growth through knowledge sharing, experience exchange, collaboration, and the membership is by invitation only. Since the launch in India 2008, we have expanded from Hyderabad to major hubs like Bangalore, New Delhi, Ahmedabad, Bombay, Pune, becoming a vital source of strength and innovation from our leaders nationwide.
Bigger picture, seeing the bigger picture, having a longer term perspective is imperative to sustain success.
this was the learning that I had through this experience, because I was shocked that my dad had already enrolled me there, along with my cousin, by the way. Now, during this workshop, we had many realizations. One of the key realizations was that up until the 2000s, most family businesses had one of the brothers managing sales, one managing finance, one managing operations. They would have the same cabin, same phone, same chair. This was not going to work in the future. That was what was the realization.
Most importantly, whatever is happening, whatever we are seeing in the past 5 years in India, or maybe in the past 10 years, the kind of growth that we are seeing in the real estate sector is all coming from the infrastructure, that the government, the commitment of government towards infrastructure. And so in the recent budget, the government has planned about 1.3 trillion USD of investment over the next 5 years into infrastructure. Now, you could see that most of this development is into 5 major pillars. One is international airports, second national high-speed corridors, intercity connectivity, and the rail corridors.
Sato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotir gamaya mrityor ma amrutam gamaya सर्वमंगल मांगल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थ साधिके शरण्ये त्र्यंबके गौरी नारायणी नमोस्तुते नमोस्तुते हे ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः
Thank you so much, sir. We're honored to have you here with us today. Photograph in the camera, Madhu. Madhu, camera, please. All right. Honorable Miss Shabina Sultana, Honorary Consul to the Republic of Tunisia. Thank you for being here with us today. We are honored. Thank you so much. Big round of applause for her. She's looking gorgeous today. And so is Madhushri. Yes. Thank you so much. And then we have the Honorable Dr. Akshay Tulsian, Honorary Consulate Republic of Namibia. Thank you, sir, for being with us today. For Mr. Srinivas Murthy, please first. Honorable Mr. N.S. Srinivas Murthy, Honorable Council, Vietnam in Karnataka. Thank you, sir, for the lovely presence, for your presence today. And now for Honorable Dr. Akshay Tulsian, Honorary Consulate Republic of Namibia. A small token from our side. Thank you for being here, taking our time. Hope you enjoyed the evening. And please stay back for dinner. And now, Honorable Mr. Indrajit Lankesh, filmmaker, producer and director of Kannada and Hindi films. Mr. Indrajit Lankesh, please. Big round of applause for him as well. Okay, I think he's not here with us today, but we'll make sure that the memento goes to him because he's been an invaluable presence in the show with us today. I think Professor Mr. Rajiv Gowda has also honored us with his presence today. Thank you, sir, for being here today. Former Member of Parliament and former Professor IIM Bangalore. Big round of applause. Thank you for being here with us today, sir. Then we have the Honorable Mr. Raghu Rajappa, Honorary Consul of the Republic of Poland in Bangalore. Thank you, sir, for being with us today. Your presence makes the evening even better. Thank you. So can we have a picture of all of you together? Standing together would be a great picture. Yeah, it will be a memory forever for us, please. Thank you so much for your presence. Please have a seat. We next start our panel for real estate and alternative investment with an open house. And for that, so please have a seat downstairs, sir. There will be a very interesting panel discussion now on real estate.
K-Raija Corp has been in the business for almost more than 4 decades. Your organization has seen this entire evolution of the sector very closely, and you've adapted to those changes as well. So just want to hear from you how it has been and what do you see going forward?
Fundamentally, when I look at the macro, I think we've never been in a better opportune time. I've had a career spanning almost a decade and a half in real estate, and I've never found myself in a more opportune time. When I look at stats, maybe last year, the residential business almost churned out a number which was a decadal high. We've never sold those many homes in our country. We last sold them in 2010. So you can understand the cyclicality and the frequency with which this demand is back.
The question, Shabana, which keeps coming is why invest in real estate? There are so many investment options which are far easier. Why should somebody invest in real estate? I think my favorite line is, growing cities attract ambitious people. And one of the ways to play this ambition and growth is through purchase of real estate. And that is what has transpired over the decades. That is why Bangalore real estate has changed very, very dramatically over the last decade, courtesy of this growth.
And if India truly has to become a developed nation, Viksit Bharat, which is the mission called out by our Prime Minister as well, by 2047 we should be a developed nation, real estate has to play the most important role. This is also a sector which impacts almost 50 plus other associated sectors. Right? There's no other sector which has got this kind of an impact. Think about it, the kind of employment, informal employment it generates, the kind of consultants, the kind of designers, the kind of architects, the amount of steel that we consume, concrete that we consume, the white appliances that we consume. I think the cascading effect is huge.
So traditionally when we speak about investing in real estate, an investor dreams of owning an asset in a residential or a commercial space. So that's as traditional as it can get. But over the last 7 to 10 years, we've seen newer avenues evolving. And we've talked quite a bit about them, but just to name a few, for example, REITs and InvITs are gaining traction. They allow even the retail guys who didn't have access to AAA assets to invest now. Correct, that includes a very large universe of investors.
A quick question in relation to how did you build the organization and what kind of personal leadership traits you developed during the course of building this organization?
I fundamentally feel that the organization that you become a part of, or you are representing, or you are leading, the first thing that you must have is a very high depth of belief in what your organization is offering to your customers.
The hand-holding and the nurturing that we do with the young entrepreneurs when we invest into startups in India, and how they nurture their own organizations and how they grow their organizations is extremely important.
For any Indian, it would be great to understand that we're talking of a country which is growing at 7%. Okay, a country with an equivalent population of Bangalore of roughly 1.66 crore, growing with an economy of $35 billion US. But so many sectors of it are really so promising that these economic relations can be, nurtured much further. That